What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and it is January 1st, 2025. Give yourselves a round of applause, especially for the people that's tuned in and ain't got to go to work today. I know most of y'all are off of work today. I'm off of work today too. We're going to get into that shortly. What up, what up, what up, what up to all of my friends and family. Again, I appreciate you guys for continuing to tap in. So much business to take care of. But guess what? It is the beginning of the month. The first day of the year. Do not mess up. Do not fumble the bag. We got a new lease on life. We got a new opportunity to do great things. But there is some tragedy that is struck. And I want to get into that, right? And it's one of the reasons why I tell people all the time, it's safer to rock out with me. Just follow Time Dog. Follow Time Dog. Time Dog is not the one that is going to wind up in a bad situation. I am always going to be preventative. I am Ruben Pfeffer. Is that what his name was in Along Came Polly? He was an assurance adjuster, and so he was always being very proactive about the situations that he put himself in. Anyways, we got a lot to cover today. Tragedy in New Orleans. Man got pushed onto a subway again. A new man that got pushed onto a subway in New York. We got to go over capturing a suspect over in L.A., graduating with over $100,000 in debt. Don Lemon is going off the rails again. A migrant got killed. Not a migrant. A border agent got killed by Venezuelan gangs. Migrants. Lots to go over. I got a new studio. Quit my job. We're going to go over all of that today, all right? So what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to tap in. I am going to be reading the Super Chat shortly, and as you know, we never miss. So it's the first of the month, first day of the month, and so let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Number one, and then I want to make sure that I acknowledge the people by reading the Super Chats. We're going to start off with a prayer, and we're going to get to it. First of all, I want to say shout out to Melvin Johnson. I appreciate you for holding me down on Cash App. Says salute to the bag chasers, AD and Queen Rita. What up, Mel? I appreciate you, big dog. I also want to acknowledge my guys, ESDC and Mike that dude. Consistent as ever. Consistent as ever. Shout out to my Cash Appers. I appreciate y'all. And let me just let y'all know, we're going to set the standard early in this year. Things are going to be changing, but one thing is for sure and two things is for certain is that we never ask for the level of support that we get, but we always like to acknowledge the people regardless of how much that you give, right? I don't care how big this show get. I don't care how great we become this year. I am always going to acknowledge the people that support the platform. I don't care what you give, $1, $5, $2, or just a like for the algorithm. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm. If you've been here more than once, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Those are your reasonable service. Outside of that, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy that you're here with me. Without you, there would be no me. And so I got to acknowledge you. I got to acknowledge God. And I got to acknowledge the fact that we are going to take advantage of every single thing that is in front of us. All right. So shout out to my early cash appers. Let me read some of the super chats. We're going to start off with a prayer and then we're going to get it popping. All right. Tech Coach Ralph says, starting the new year off right, turning the page on 2024. Let's run it up. Shout out to Tech Coach Ralph with the 100 ball. That's how y'all starting off the year. I got great expectations for y'all. KC says, hey, Anton, Happy New Year. Join the Bag Chasers. And this is my first super chat. Yo, what up? How do you measure the effectiveness of a marketing campaign? Well, usually you can actually measure that with the results. So for example, if I'm running an influencer marketing campaign, usually I would give them a link that basically tells me how many people selected or clicked after their recommendation. So you can say affiliate marketing, for example. If you are selling a product and you're doing affiliate marketing, most of the time you give them a link that's unique to them, and you can see at checkout how many people actually purchased the product that came from them, and then you basically give them a kickback, aka a commission from it. Now, if you're having a completely different campaign that you don't necessarily give them, you can't necessarily see, it doesn't translate, for example. So it's not at checkout, but you could just see how many people actually click the link. Then you can do that also. But in most marketing campaigns, uh, unless you're going with legacy media, let's say, for example, you went with a Super Bowl ad, right? Just something big. You go with a Super Bowl ad, you get a whole lot of traffic. You know where it came from, but you can't necessarily measure it, right? Usually, when you do a marketing campaign, whether it be Facebook ads, Google ads, or whatever, you target a certain demographic. So every single ad, if I'm you, I'm customizing those ads for that demographic. If I'm selling an e-commerce product and I'm marketing to the West Coast, then I'm gonna do that ad separately for that particular region. Then I am going to do it over on the East Coast. And then if you really get good, you can start to narrow it down to specific states, specific cities, so on and so forth. Now, if you have like a brick and mortar business, right? Let's say that you have a restaurant. I think you have to have a dual approach, right? You want to do influencer marketing and you want to do traditional marketing, in a sense that you want to have um a targeted area on specific platforms. I don't necessarily recommend Yelp or anything like that, but I do like Facebook marketing or Meta ads. I do like Google AdSense, but those don't necessarily translate into a paid product, right? That's just getting the traffic. So you can measure that. But I would do that along with influencer marketing. That is bringing people and visibility into the place, and I will continue to have that as a part of the budget, right? So it just depends on the type of marketing that you're doing. It depends on what platform you're using, but you can usually measure the effectiveness of an ad. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the platform is bad. It could be your ad if it's not translating into sales. So you can throw a bunch of money at something, but you can have a bad ad or it doesn't necessarily resonate with the people, and it won't necessarily translate into sales either. So you got to start to measure that, right? And usually, if you have a brick and mortar store, you want to target it to a specific radius, unless you have an e-commerce platform to also assist in the sales of that, which you should always have. But if you got something like a restaurant, then that doesn't necessarily work. So hopefully I gave you your $5 worth of information, but that is a phenomenal question. Thank you, KC. My dog, Mike. What up, Mike? I appreciate you, big dog. Shout out to Mike. Mike, you are absolutely appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friend, for continuing to hold me down. For my people that is not necessarily in the United States of America, but always adding value. Heading to NOLA to see the family. Be careful. Be careful. Pray for the city. Molly, what up? Molly says, join the Patreon today, become official bag chaser. That is true. Listen, I posted in the Patreon this morning of the official day and time of the next live stream. I'm not going to say it out loud. If you're not a bag chaser and you don't know, I am going to teach you how to budget like a monster. I am going to give you practical advice, and then we also going right after that. The next live stream right after that is Stock Club. All right, I want to get y'all started off right when it comes to your investments, what you can expect, especially with this incoming president. Okay, and then right after that we got Block Club, right? And then I know y'all want to do Tax Club, so we got to figure that out, right? But yeah, man, I have that posted inside of the Patreon. I posted it this morning, so go and check that out. The best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. That's the stock. That is the Bag Chasers. And then make sure you join a Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. You got to join it. If you're doing stock club, start from the beginning. If you're doing block club, start from the first block club. You can actually search it and filter it out. But make sure you tuned in because we are going to do this budgeting video and you certainly don't want to miss this, especially for you people that are looking to have high earnings this year. Because I want to help you guys save more money on your taxes and keep more money in your pocket. In order to do that, you got to understand how the game works. If you don't understand how the game works, and I'm going to break it down from a C student's perspective, then you're just going to give all of your money to the federal government. And that would be an absolute shame. That would be an absolute shame. Before we get into the show, let me tell you how backwards thinking a lot of people are, right? They would rather not pay $15 to get the information and give $100,000 over to the IRS. Give $20,000 extra over to the IRS. They would rather not, and I'm not telling you what you should do because you're going to have to make the decision for yourself. You would rather give the IRS an extra $10, $20, $40, $50, $100,000 a year, especially for you high earners. If you make more than that, you are absolutely out of your mind. You would rather give the IRS an additional $40, $50, $100,000 than to make sure that you get the information for $15. That's crazy to me. That is insane. So do what you feel is best and get to the bag and take care of business. Shout out to my girl Molly. I appreciate you officially. Bless says, Happy New Year. This channel really helped me, encourage me to do better. As I join the Bag Chasers this year, I know I will be edified. Stay blessed. Shout out to my girl Bless. I like that name. Messi here with me for another year says, New Year, same me because I'm never the problem. I just want to show love to you, Misery to Miss Les, and forever be and my forever tribe, the Chasers. Shout out to my girl Messi. I love her. Head down, bag up TV says, good morning, Chasers. Been grinding so much between my regular job, my business, and rebuilding. I woke up like today was just another day. Get to that bag, big dog. Happy Project 2025, says Keyshawn White. Cartez Cookies is in the building, says Happy New Year, Anton. Dame Smith says, this is the most hip-hop show on YouTube. Thank you, AD. And then K. Cooper came through with the 50 ball. Says, Happy New Year, Anton and family. We love you and appreciate you, and I appreciate you more, K. I appreciate you more, K. Cooper, and that's why you got a wrench. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my friends and family. Let me just double-check something one more time. I also want to acknowledge Phil Jackson. Shout out to Phil. Says, Happy New Year's with that 100 ball. Jesus, y'all love me that much? Y'all love me that much? Shout out to Shiba Inu. I appreciate you for the super sticker. Thank you, my friend, for holding me down. And then Corp CA says, Happy 2025 AD. I'm actually leaving New Orleans and headed back to Florida. During the incident, I was already in a safe place, fast asleep. Nothing good happens at that hour of the night. Talk about it. Grandma was right when she says ain't nothing out there but the devil, right? Thank you for everybody to support the platform. We got to get into the show. And let's run it up, y'all. Let's run it up. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be rich by ourselves. If you have not already, the link to the Patreon is in the description of the video. And we post it when we doing our next live stream there. All right. Thank you. I'm going to read that super chat shortly, right after Quick Hits. But Quick Hits is a segment of the show that we don't necessarily think we need to dedicate an entire segment to. But we want to keep y'all in the loop on what's going on in these streets, all right? So let's spend 10 minutes talking about Quick Hits. First things first, a Mexican immigration agent was killed by migrants near the Texas border. Venezuelan migrants, that is. Check it out.
Mexico has detained 3 suspects over the death of a Mexican migration agent near the U.S. border, according to state security and migration officials. The slain agent was attacked at a checkpoint when he asked a number of foreign nationals for their identification documents, Mexican Migration Agency INM said. The checkpoint was just south of Ciudad Juarez, across the border from the city of El Paso in Texas.
Right after Quick Hits.
The incident marks a rare case of deadly violence against agents weeks before Donald Trump takes office.
I got you, A76.
The US president-elect is expected to crack down on illegal immigration and try to restrict legal immigration when he returns to the White House. Hundreds of migrants waited in long lines outside an immigration office in southern Mexico on
Look at all of those people right there, y'all. Look at all of those people right there. That's just a small tidbit of people that are looking to get over here into the United States of America, trying to get in, and Biden is doing his best to let everybody that he can and flying them all here on taxpayer dime, trying to get into the United States of America right after they killed a border agent. Look at this. Look. Let me show you something. Shout out to Bell. I appreciate you. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. Check this out. We might as well just classify ourselves as Canada when it comes to our healthcare system and our tax dollars, because it's a free-for-all. You see this young kid that's in a wheelchair? You see him? He's going to be leveraging, if he gets into the United States of America, he's going to be leveraging our phenomenal healthcare system that does not necessarily require you to pay anything, but they can't restrict a doctor from going to see you. It is law. They have to see you. And so he's going to get this phenomenal healthcare that doctors went to school for and nurses went to school for and taxpayers are going to have to cover, which is one of the reasons why you see hospitals go out of business. He's going to come over here. They're going to look to become American citizens, and they're going to look to get on Medicare, Medicaid, and take advantage of the system. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you how it plays out.
Monday, they hope to secure safe passage north and enter the US legally before Trump returns to power. Salvadoran migrant Jose Escobar.
Like every migrant, we are afraid. But well, he knows what he's going to do with all of us entering legally. We're doing it in the healthiest and most feasible way possible to avoid mistakes, such as entering illegally.
State investigators reported that the agent suffered a head injury and his body exhibited, quote, signs of violence.
You don't say. You don't say that Venezuelan migrants in Mexico is killing border agents now. Interesting. In addition to that, let me also share this story really quickly. The FBI is saying that it seized the biggest cache of explosives in the history from Virginia, from a Virginia farm. Check it out. Hey, man, be careful about these migrants, bro.
To some breaking news now. The FBI arresting a Virginia man earlier this month after finding what prosecutors describe as the largest seizure of homemade explosives in Bureau history. In court documents, prosecutors say Brad Kenneth Spafford is an extreme danger to the community, and they're trying to keep him in jail. They say he had a stockpile of more than 150 pipe bombs, with some preloaded into a wearable vest. Let's get right to our Ken Delaney. And Ken, what is Spafford charged with right now, and what else did investigators say they found?
As of now, Valerie, he's only charged with illegally possessing a short-barreled, unregistered rifle. But it seems pretty clear they're planning more charges. They were arguing to this federal judge that he should not be released on bond because he's a danger to the community, not only because they recovered that massive cache of explosives, but because he appears to be an anti-government extremist. They said that he was using pictures of President Biden for target practice, and he talked to a neighbor about bringing back political assassinations. So he appears to have some very extreme beliefs, and the federal government wants him behind bars.
Well, let's start here, right? Because again, I don't believe in extremes on either side of the fence, right? Not the people that was allegedly trying to assassinate Trump, or the people that are allegedly trying to assassinate. You got to be a sick individual to try to assassinate a man that looks to be having dementia and losing his faculties in Biden. You have to be. Biden looked like he operating the same as Jimmy Carter was prior to his passing. So you gonna waste your life on a person that looked like he ain't even in his right mind in the first place. Why would you do that? See, that's how I know that people are insane and they sick. That's how I know that people are insane and they sick. It's because you would actually put effort into a man that don't even look like he got all of his faculties right now. I know you crazy. I know you in room 9. I know you in room 9. And you the dummy, y'all the type of people to go and order supply. I want to order target practice. You putting that in your Google search bar. Yes, give me target practice Biden with a target around his face. Red flag, FBI be like, yeah, go ahead and check that farm over there in Virginia. And he looked like he got frizzy hair. Go ahead and check that farm in Virginia. I'm pretty sure he's an extremist when he's ordering targets with Biden's face on it.
That's where he is right now while a judge considers the evidence, Valerie.
We know he was only recently arrested, but this investigation goes back at least a year, right?
That's right. A neighbor became interested in him when he moved to the area near Norfolk, Virginia, and noticed that he had lost some fingers and learned that it was because of his handling of homemade explosives. And that
Yeah, that's that's probably a sign that you don't really want him as a neighbor. Hey man, the neighbor. Hey man, what's going on with your fingers over there? I sewed them up myself because I lost them in some explosives. Yeah, let me call the FBI and see what's going on. But see, this is what we have to start doing inside of the hood. This is what we got to start doing inside of the neighborhood. We have to start taking interest. No more minding your own business. Nope. Nope. Hey man, what happened to your fingers? Why your hands bleeding? Oh, I had lost them in an explosive accident that I was testing some stuff out with. Yeah, all right, cool. Give me a second. FBI, please. Can you please come check out my neighbor? He lost his fingers. Yeah. We need to do that inside of the communities. If we did that, because again, I say it all the time, we know who the dealers are, we know who the killers are, we know who everybody is that's doing some of the worst things inside of our communities. You know who the jackers are, the robbers are. You know who the scammers are. If all y'all did was help assist the police officers and getting these people off the streets, you would then make your neighborhood infinitely safer, and then your kids can walk down the street. But no, we want to manage your business. No, stop selling drugs inside of stop blowing your fingers off. And then I won't pay attention. If you walking around like this, hey man, where your fingers at? Hey man, give me 5, and you keep giving me dap all day, that's a problem. If I notice that your hands look like this and you actually got your fingers out, that's a problem. I need to find out what's going on. Hey man, where your hands at? Was you born like that? Or is that a recent accident? Nah, so that's more recent? Okay, give me a second. Let me get the police on the phone. Oh, no. Everything cool. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to somebody in here. Hey, Rita, call the police real quick. Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on him. I don't want to take my eyes off of him. Call the police real quick. We need to know what's happening with his hands. Why he ain't got no fingers? Why he ain't got no fingers? I need to know. I need to know why you don't have, I need the context. Nope, I'm not just minding my business. I need to know the context as to why you don't have fingers. That's just the way that I do things. So shout out to the FBI for finally doing something. What's up, sister? I love you. Shout out to the FBI for doing their job. And then last but not least, everybody going back to work. They're expecting much more traffic now that Amazon in particular is forcing all of their employees back into the office. Check it out.
A new year means big changes here in Seattle. Starting this week, Amazon workers are required to return to the office full time. Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us for the news at 5. I'm Matthew Smith.
And I'm Lauren Donovan. While local businesses are excited for tens of thousands of people back in town every day, drivers will be dealing with the impacts. Fox 13's AJ Janavel tells you what your commute will look like in the new year.
All right, even though we're seeing some backups here behind me, in comparison to what it was like before 2020, this is light. And right now, it's rush hour. Experts tell me with this new change coming, unfortunately, you might be the one that has to do more work to avoid traffic. Starting Thursday, get ready to sit and wait. That's the day about 50,000 Amazon employees are expected to return to Bellevue and Seattle offices full time.
I forgot. Yeah. This is a reminder. It's not going to be great.
Even in the middle of the afternoon on the day before New Year's Eve, traffic can still back up here in downtown Seattle near Amazon headquarters. Imagine what it will look like with.
Hey, they getting sassy with they editing. Hey fam, I got this new trick. Yeah, you stand on one side of the street, we're going to record it, we're going to speed it up on the other side of the street, and then it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. I see what y'all got going on. All right, news. Finally, Fox 13 getting caught up. All right, Let's get it.
Tens of thousands of more commuters in the area.
This conversation is me thinking about that right now.
Vera Okolo tells me she already goes out of her way to avoid traffic in Seattle. And she started working here in 2020, never even seeing how bad the gridlock got before COVID. And since those backed up days in downtown, the city has changed, including a new arena which brings in thousands weekly for games and concerts.
There's going to be more people on the road. And so that's when, that extra travel time is really going to play part into it, where people need to leave extra time to get there.
According to an INREX study, Amazon's first return to the office back in 2023, requiring 3 in-person days a week, led to slowdowns throughout the region, including a 35% drop in speeds on I-90. Aisha Dayal with WashDOT tells me the department is monitoring what the impacts of the extra drivers will mean for roads. But unfortunately for your commute, you might have some homework daily if you want to avoid traffic headaches.
Look at their routes before they go. So we have a lot of resources that we have available on our website, downloading the app, and that gives that real-time traffic information for people.
Okolo tells me this upcoming change may lead to a practical New Year's resolution for her commute.
Walk more.
Now, even though growth does mean more traffic, it also means more options. Specifically, in the last few years, the light rail has expanded throughout the region, creating more stops, which could lead to less time on the roads, depending.
Yeah, y'all need to learn how to use public transportation more effectively. When I'm downtown and when the weather is permitting, and even when the weather is not permitting, and I'm going into the studio most of the time, I try to take my bike or I take public transportation, and it's dope. You get to see more of the city. You get to get out the house. You don't get nagged by the chick that you land next to all the time. Yeah, listen, get out the house. Get out the house. Get your Apple Watch popping. Get your steps in. Get back to work. Get back to work. Nope. We don't care about you complaining. Nope. And you don't got no choice because guess what? Guess what? Don't go in and get laid off. Don't go in and get laid off. Federal workers, y'all don't notice. Let me go ahead and read some of the super chats, and then we gonna go ahead and hit y'all with a prayer and get started with the show. First of all, I want to give an acknowledgement to Phil Jackson and Chris James. Chris James, you are incredible. Chris James, you are incredible. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me down. Thank you for blessing me. Said first donation of the year. Bobby Sherry says, New Year bag chasers ain't missing in 2025. Shout out to my dog, Bobby Sherry, in the building. Also want to acknowledge Letitia Joy. Shout out to Letitia. I appreciate you, baby. Happy New Year. Appreciate all that you do. Thank you, Logic 804. Belle, what up, Belle, over there in Canada doing what you do? Says Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you for the laughs and most importantly, the knowledge you've provided us for so many years. I've personally been able to apply your words of encouragement time and time again to overcome hardships. Thank you, Anton. No, thank you for tuning in, holding me down, and making sure that you add value into what we got going on here. It does not go unnoticed. Shout out to my Canadian friends up there in Bell. Taj says, today is my birthday. Happy birthday to you, Taj. You was born on the first of the year. You should read the book Outliers. It's a reason why you was born on the first of the year. Happy birthday. No Hood Rats Allowed says, last year was great. This year will be epic. And I'm a femdon now. Shout out to No Hood Rats Allowed featuring Goth Betty. Banks, big banks, big money. Look at all of these big money spenders out here in the streets. Happy New Year, family. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me down. I do appreciate you. Purple Haze is in the building. Shout out to Perp. Says, let's all continue to be great men. Wonderful women in 2005, but most importantly, get that bag. Salute AD for all that you do. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and hit y'all with a prayer to get started because we got to get started with the show and get it popping. All right? I got you, Connie. Don't worry about it, Connie. We're going to get you together. Connie, I know you got it in you to be more positive this year. We're going to get you together. I'm not even going to start off with that story, Connie. We're going to start off with a prayer first, all right? Lord, as we get more bags and we run up a bag this year like never before, because every single year you have blessed me and us, the chasers, to be significantly more profitable than we were the year before. The first thing that we want to pray for going into the new year is wisdom and character. Wisdom and character. Nope, we're not asking you for more money because we understand that the money comes with it. Nope, we're not asking you for more box because we not on that. We focus on our bag. We focus on doing the right thing. But bless us to have character, good judgment, wisdom, so that when we get the bags and when we become more successful and when we see these men and women continue to flock to us and when our family and friends continue to come to us and say, hey, man, let me get some of that we're wise enough, smart enough, and we have the character that keeps us and allows for us to say no. Give us the power to say no for the people that do not add value into our lives and is looking to leech off of us, looking to mooch off of us, and bless us because we know that the person that we're saying no to will be more blessed because they won't get a handout, they'll get a hand up, and then they'll be a lot more fervent in their journey instead of leaning on us to get the bag while they were asleep all day and not doing what they were supposed to do. They didn't want to get up. They keep complaining about going into the workplace and job and working from home, and they didn't want to get up. And when we got up and we got to the bag and we got the promotions, we got the success, and we got everything, and now they want to say that they want to hold us accountable and hit us with a tax. No. God, give us the wisdom to know who's for us and what we're supposed to do because we don't want to get in your way of the lessons that you're trying to teach them, but also give us the character that allows us to be a good person and a great steward of the resources that you give us. I love you. I appreciate you. I know you say where 2 or 3 is gathered in your name. There you are in the midst of thee. And we are asking collectively. We don't have to be sitting next to each other, but we all in agreement. We're touching and agreeing in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. All right, y'all ready to get started with the show? Let's get started with the show. I will be reading super chats shortly. All right. But the first thing that I want to talk about coming into the new year before we get to these crazy stories. You like that, D? You like that, D? Yeah. Yeah. Wildest prayers on the net, Desiree. These are the realest prayers on the net. God hears us. You don't want to hear all of that hooting and hollering. He want to hear that real stuff. He want to hear what's in your heart. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it for a second. So first and foremost, before we get into these crazy stories today, Anton from AntonDaniels.com, I walked into corporate yesterday and I was trying to figure out if I wanted to tell you guys or I just wanted to talk to the bag chasers about where I worked because I still don't think that it's safe, personally. I don't want my former workplace being harassed by y'all and all of that stuff. Even though I don't work there, it's just not necessary. But I will talk about it on the bag chasers. I will talk about it on the live stream that we're going to do about budgeting because it's important. And there's some lessons that come along with that. But in particular, yesterday, I walked into corporate. I traded in my computer. Here, I'll show you a little bit of a picture. See how much of the picture I could show you. So I don't want to, let's see if I can show that. So, yep, I walked into corporate yesterday. That's corporate. And we traded in that computer with the little computer. Y'all know what that computer is. You traded in your work computer. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I put so much work on that computer, the eyes didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I had to keep hitting the I a bunch of times, which is weird because my user login was my first initial, my last name that has an I in it, and then it's a number, right? And then of course you got your password or whatever like that. And I worked that computer so much so, and of course I didn't want to get another one because by the time that the I stopped working, I realized that I wouldn't be there past this year. But we was getting to it. We got to it. I went into corporate and it was a weird feeling. I had a sense of, I felt the same way that I felt when I retired the first time back in 2019 prior to the pandemic. It was like, man, like new opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It was a weird feeling to know that I would only be walking in there that time for the last time, and going into the new thing. But it was a few learned lessons that came along with that. And I didn't think about these learned lessons until after I left, right? And so after I left, this morning when I woke up, the first thing that happened to me was I got a phone call. Now, in this picture, you may not recognize it because this is the former area where it used to say, don't do coke in the bathroom. From all of you OG watchers and the people that is familiar and has been watching me for a long time, when I used to do the regular live streams in the studio, and then I switched it around and I moved to a new area, this is where that sign used to be where it said, don't do coke in the bathroom. So I got the phone call late last night, prior to me going on the live stream. And then they said, Anton, everything is done. I want you to come in and come see the work. And so this is one of the areas where we will be shooting new content, not for the Millionaire Morning Show, but, other things, interviews. I got a new black couch for y'all. I got a new black couch for y'all. Okay, so the old black couch, we retired it. Shout out to my girl Chris. Shout out to her. She is one of the greatest of all time. I brought her in from Atlanta and Nashville. She stayed in Michigan for the last month and a half to see this project through. I didn't go in and do anything. She did everything. She charged me some money, but she was worth it. So she took care of business. And this will be the new area that you will see the majority of the interviews. Now, I don't want to give too much, right? I don't want to show all of the sets because I will be doing a Millionaire Morning Show in the studio on a completely different set. I will be doing the Anton Daniels channel on a completely different set. But this is one of the areas that is going to be different inside of the studio that we added into this, all right? In addition to that, we got other sets, right? So you'll see things like this. There will be different shows in different places, and this is one of the spots that we will be recording content in over here. So this is a little bit different. And she came up with all of this stuff on her own, and she said, Anton, what do you want? What is it that you're trying to do? And I said, listen, you do what you feel like is best, and you take care of business, all right? So she redid everything. She really took care of business. She went with certain themes. And the only requirement that I gave her is the amount of people that I wanted to be seated in certain areas, depending on what show I was doing. All right. In addition to that, and I won't show the Millionaire Morning Show set or nothing like that, but in addition to that, then I left and I went and checked out some of the new properties that I'm building. So this one is currently in flight, and this is one of the new houses that I'm building. Shout out to all of the bag chasers. I broke down exactly what my costs were in building properties now. And so if you want to go and check that out, join the Patreon and Block Club. This is the current state of a property that I've recently broken ground on. And then we have 3 additional properties in flight. And I say all this to say that I wasn't waiting for something. It's a few lessons that I want you to take from this. I wasn't waiting for something to happen to me. I was always working on other things to put myself in a position to obviously be able to walk away from corporate America the first time and the second time. This is the second time. And I'm open to the possibility of what if a crazy bag comes and it fits into what I'm doing in my schedule. But I am always dressing for the job that I want, preparing myself for the next opportunity, and putting myself in a position where I don't have to depend on nobody for me to continue to level up, feed my family, and take care of business. People are waiting and fearing layoffs. If you've been a watcher here at the Anton Daniels and the Millionaire Morning Show, you know that they had to incentivize me to keep me. I had already planned on leaving. I was just trying to figure out what the best exit strategy is. My exit strategy wound up being that they gave me a severance package because I determined that I didn't want to go back into the office and I didn't want to go over to a new division. But my point is that I've never, and I think I was here for like 2.5, 3 years or something like that. I've never spent a paycheck from this job. Every single post-tax, post Roth Roth investment has 100% outside of my daughter's allowance, 100% went into my brokerage account and went into investments, which then gave me, the maneuverability to understand that I never needed it, so I never made my lifestyle a part of it. And then more importantly, it was just points on the board. But then more importantly, I never depended on it, so I didn't have to make an adjustment. I never added that as a part of my lifestyle, so I didn't have to make an adjustment when it's time to go. You understand what I'm saying? You have to prepare yourself for the next opportunity. When the word even says faith without works is dead, you can pray for all of the success. You can pray for all of the opportunity. You can do all of these things that you want to do. Here we go. Here's another one. Let me go ahead and answer this question. Somebody says, if you a millionaire, why you need a 9 to 5? The same reason that Tim Cook needed. How come y'all don't ask that same question to Tim Cook? How come you don't ask that same question to Steve Harvey and when he working 6 or 7 jobs and he making $80 and $90 million a year? How come y'all don't ask that to the same C-suite level executives that hold on to how come you don't ask that to the finance bros? Once they hit $1 million, are they supposed to quit their jobs? If the opportunity presents itself, why wouldn't you take that? More importantly, if you was a bag chaser, and this is how I know you're not a bag chaser, you would see what I showed the Patreon members my W-2s are at the end of the year. Why would I not, especially considering that they accommodated me in every way possible, take advantage of the fact that I was able to work from home, get the bag, negotiate equity, get crazy bonuses, and still be able to get that money and get all of the healthcare coverage and the benefits that go along with it? Why would somebody pass up the bag just because they already have one? When you get one car, do you not want another one? If you have the ability to get it, if you get a toy, I don't know any supercar owner that only have one car. Why wouldn't you have multiple streams of income? And I will tell you, and this is the biggest life hack that people just completely overlook. One of the best ways to make money, extra money, multiple streams of income, is to have another job, especially if you can do it from home. Why would you pass up that bag? So you saying, for example, let's just use this as an example, right? Let's say, for example, you're worth $5 million and they offer you $500,000 in additional income from whatever it is that they got going on that doesn't affect what you're doing from a content creation perspective or from a business. Are you telling me you're gonna pass it up? Are you telling me that you're going to pass it up? Because I want to reprogram y'all to not think like the culture has taught y'all to think. And I'm not getting on you. I'm just emphasizing a point. Would you pass it up? Just curious. When these NBA players become multimillionaires, do you not see them trying to get another big contract right after that? I just want to understand what the logic is. Why do we have a culture where it's bad for you to have a regular job regardless of what state that you're in? Whether you a person that just need that regular job to work every single day, or whether you a person that is already incredibly successful, when did it become bad, regardless of what state, whatever financial state that you're in, to have a regular job? Am I too good to have a regular job? Am I disqualified because I reached a certain threshold in my net worth to have a regular job? When did we get to the point in society to where we became too good to work? regardless of what it is. If I wanted to go out tomorrow and be a DoorDash driver, am I too good for that? If it pays extra money, and this, I just want to reprogram this, because we think that it's shameful to say that you work. I think that it's shameful to be unemployed. I think that it's shameful to be a grown man with no value to add into society. I believe that it's shameful to be unemployed. Why are we not shaming people for not having a job, but they shaming people that have a job, regardless of what it is that you're generating? Why are we shaming people that have jobs? That is the weirdest thing ever. I don't know of any other culture that shames people for taking a position that generates more revenue. Honest to God, this is the only culture that I've ever seen in my entire life. The only culture that I've ever seen in my entire life that shame people for being productive, not selling drugs, not being a scammer, not finessing people, and doing it the right way. That is the weirdest thing ever. I don't understand it. When did that become a thing? I just don't understand it. I've had people that did whole live streams on me because I took a regular job. Now, if you seen my W-2, it'll make you throw up. But I don't feel like I need to do that anymore because it's not necessary. If you seen what was in my garage, it would make you throw up. If you seen... I don't want to get too sassy. I don't want to get too sassy. I just want to make sure we all on the same page. Just want to make sure that we all on the same page. I just want to make sure that we all on the same page. I don't want nobody to be confused about the reason why we do this. You know what I'm saying? Who said that it was a limit on the amount of cars that you can buy? Who said that it's a limit on the amount of work that I can do? Am I short of work? Is it short of work out here? Am I limited on the amount of watches that I can buy and the cars that I can have and the amount of jobs that I can generate? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is we need to change our mentality to have a wealth mindset instead of having a mindset that always talks about what you shouldn't do because of what you think you are. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Change our mindset. We got to have a wealth, an abundance mindset. We can't keep talking about what you want to do or why you got to do this if you're a millionaire. And listen, just for the record, and I said I'm going to stop doing this, but we just going to go into the new year right. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a decamillionaire. It's a difference. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a decamillionaire. It's a difference. We different over here. We bag chasers. This is not, I might change the name of this to the Decamillionaire Show. And I don't even feel satisfied. Honestly, I believe that I should be a billionaire by the time that I'm 50. I believe that I should be a billionaire by the time that I'm 50. And instead of some people asking me, okay, well, let me get in the Bag Chasers, let me figure out how you did it, they sitting here worried about whether or not I got more of it. That's all. Let's get this money. Let's get this money. All right, y'all. Let's continue on with the show. I told y'all need to pray for wisdom. I told y'all. Quan Johnson says, what up, AD? Rocking with you from Mount Clemens. Shout out to my Michiganders out here in the building. Just joined the Bag Chasers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. For all of you, continue to share. Thanks, sir. Shout out to New Era, man. I appreciate you for running it up, big dog. KP says, Happy New Year. Just joined the Chasers. Welcome, welcome. I can't wait to do this live stream so I can teach y'all about this new live stream. Y'all know what it is. I ain't going to talk about it. Trill, what up, Trill? I appreciate you for holding me down. JR says, hey, Anton, Happy New Year to you, sir. This year, I plan on growing closer to Jesus and getting that children's novel I told you about published and starting my writing career. Pray for me. God bless you, big dog. I hope that you do well. In Jesus' name, get everything that God has for you that's good. Casual Germ says, the fact that the majority of us know the casting couch makes me more disappointed of 2024. Don't worry about that. We're going to get there. Mr. Robinson says, good day, Anton. This is Mika boyfriend. Hey, he changed his name to Mr. Robinson. Oh, man, y'all crazy. Just playing. I've been a watcher of your channel for almost 2 years now. I only started chatting on the Super Chats late last year. Well, I appreciate you for being here, Robinson. Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Molly in the building says, your studio is so boss. Can't wait to see it. 2025 and beyond is yours. No, it's ours. It's ours, Mika. It's not mine. It's ours. Ray Black in the building says, I've been watching for a year and enjoy the content. I'm an IT engineer and closed on a duplex. I plan on living one unit and renting out the other. That's smart. I like that house hacking. Keyshawn Huggins says, not leaving any money on the table. Warren Buffett is still working. And so we still working. If Warren Buffett can still work and he's a 100 billionaire, who am I? Shout out to Hazmat himself in the building. Looks like y'all going into the new year? All right, I got to step my game up. Salute, brother AD and the Chasers. Happy New Year's. Just joined the Chasers this morning. First time catching a live stream. Ready to run it up all 2025. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you again. I'm going to continue to read Super Chats. Thank you to everybody that contributed to the platform, and thank you to all of the Bag Chasers. Let's go ahead and get into the show. So we got some tragedy to deal with. And I want to say that this is the reason why I tell y'all to stay in the house. All right? This is one of the reasons I tell y'all to stay in the house. So New Orleans. It's too many people out at the same time. It's too many people out at the same time. Honest to God. When I seen New York City going through all of the motions to sweep the entire city, especially where they were going to have the ball drop last night for New Year's Eve, I said, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and stay in tonight, and I'm a live stream. And then people was like, I remember Carrie last night. Carrie said that her kid was like, is Anton live streaming tonight? You bet your bottom dollar I'm a live stream, because not only are we creating great content, not only are we generating revenue, not only are we setting ourselves up for the next year, but we're also safe inside the house. It's one of the reasons for all of you OG watchers why I had originally created Fight Club. And Fight Club was designed for people to stay in the house, air out their grievances, have a little bit of fun, but more importantly, not get caught up in all of this stuff that's happening in the streets, because at the time, it was the day after Thanksgiving, which is the biggest drinking day of the year. But in New Orleans, they are calling it a terrorist attack. And in this terrorist attack, basically somebody used their vehicle to plow into the people that were on Bourbon Street. I pray for the families. We got to check it out and go straight to the news conference, y'all.
Tom, as this search for answers continues in New Orleans after this horrific scene, we now know from a federal law enforcement official that the suspect here, the driver, is believed to be dead. Any other details on that so far?
That's right, Hallie. That's the latest from our colleague, Ken Delanian, hearing that from a senior federal law enforcement official and starting to get some images that we're in the process of verifying from the scene, but it appears to be a white pickup truck. There's a number of bullet holes on it, and trying to corroborate some additional information that we see, from that vehicle and what that can tell us. A law enforcement official who's not actively involved in this, but just obviously this has gotten the attention of law enforcement officials across the East Coast here this morning, pointed out that there was a bollard replacement. So those are the kind of the stainless steel drums, if you will, that are typically line these streets and typically line these areas as a security measure to make sure vehicles aren't able to go down these streets. Now, whether or not that was just to protect the sidewalk or whether or not that was to protect the street, that was something that was in the process of being done. Also, where was this on the street? Was it at the very beginning? And did this individual carry out this apparent attack because they were able to just get close enough to the security area to be able to create damage as people would be close to the entrance of the street, or were they actually able to get a distance down the street? Those are all questions that we have here this morning, Hallie, and don't frankly yet, because it's still very much early in this investigation, have the answers to. But there are a number of different components that they're looking at. If this individual is deceased, if they had any ID on them, of course they'll be able to immediately go to work, and since they have a license plate on a vehicle, they'll be able to determine whether or not this vehicle was rented, was it a vehicle that this person owned, and all sorts of information off of that.
Do we know yet, Tom, if they have an identification on this driver?
I have not been, no identification has been shared with me. That doesn't mean that they don't have one. It's just that I haven't heard that they have one at this stage. Presumably on the ground, this individual is deceased. They would be able to, the FBI has if not, the FBI has the ability to run those fingerprints. So now that doesn't necessarily mean that this individual is in their system, but if they have any sort of a record or any sort of background where they would have been fingerprinted in the past, that can be very helpful. They can do that very quickly. The FBI has that ability, and then obviously the fact that they have a vehicle, you have a piece of evidence, and if the vehicle was rented to John Doe, and that John Doe photo that matches the person that they have deceased at the scene, then they'll be able to have that type of information. So there's all sorts of different means and methods that they can use to be able to try to determine that identification. That's probably already happened.
And presumably, Tom, the gun that this driver used to shoot at police officers is also a critical piece of evidence here that could potentially be used to track his identity, to figure out where he got this gun from, et cetera.
Huge. Where did he get the gun? Who sold it to him? Was it purchased lawfully? Was it not? If so, is there more information there? And the potential other individuals that they could be looking at in the course of this investigation. This stuff, at this stage, it's over. The suspect is deceased, unfortunately. So are 10 individuals who are trying to enjoy their New Year's Eve celebrations. And 2 cops are lying in a hospital. But there is a bit of a different component to this, Hallie, because as you and I alluded to earlier, there is a major, the Sugar Bowl is in New Orleans tonight, a major national event at the Superdome. So you want to be very, very clear and very certain right away whether or not you have a potential problem here that could expand beyond this. And so I'm guessing that there is a pace and a tempo to this that'll be even faster than usual, just to try to get to the bottom of who this person is and what their background is.
You only need one person. Literally, you only need one person to continue to ruin the fun for everybody. And now it's at least 10 people that are injured or dead, 2 police officers, and they intended to do this. So this is literally a terrorist attack. It doesn't have to be a school shooting. It doesn't have to be, something that airplane hijacking like the movies. They go and they rent a white truck, and they go and run people over with it, and that's the end of it. Their life, the summary of their life is, I'm going to get this white truck and I'm going to run people over on New Year's Eve that is celebrating making it through the year, but they'll never make it back home. And you know, the thing about it is that it rains on the just and the unjust, meaning that there is no rhyme and reason for it. You're not going to make sense of it. The only thing that you can try to do is do preventative maintenance to try to protect yourself from it. Let's go over to the police and see what they got to say about it.
So I'm going to give you as much of the information I possibly can. We are going to give you an update a couple of times today. So we will give you just the basics this morning, all right? We had this event started at about 3:15. It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. It was not a DUI situation. This is a more complex and more serious based on the information we have right now. With respect to numbers, we have right now, and as you already know, this could change throughout the day. We do know that there are 26 injured people who are at UMC Hospital. We know we have 4 at Turo, 4 at Oshner Baptist, 1 at Tulane, but even as I was walking out the door, I believe I have an unconfirmed additional people who have been taken to other area hospitals, possibly on the east side. But we will give you as many correct numbers as we can as the day progresses. It is a very tragic situation for me to tell you that we know we have 10 people that this man killed.
So at least 10 people killed and 26 injured. Let me say that again. As of right now, they are saying that it is at least 10 people killed and 26 people injured. Let's continue.
On Bourbon Street. That is why we do not want anyone on Bourbon Street today. Wherever you see yellow tape, please do not violate this tape. This is in order to protect and stabilize the scene. We have information to a certain degree of the demographics of those who are in the hospital right now. We do not know at this point how many could be tourists versus locals, but from the information I have right now, it seems the majority are locals versus tourists. What I also can tell you,
I did read that the man is dead. You can see the bullet holes. I'll show you the picture, for example.
Is that this man, this perpetrator, he fired on our officers from his vehicle when he crashed his vehicle.
Yeah, he never even intended to survive.
2 of our officers have been shot. They are stable, and we will give you an update on them. I have yet been able to go to the hospital. I will be leaving here for us to go visit our officers. We have called in every officer that we have. We have so much appreciated our partnerships who have also offered us staff. Last night, we had over 300 officers out here. And because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades in order to conduct this, he was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did. Because of the nature and the indices that we have on the scene.
And he went and rented an electric vehicle. He went and rented an electric vehicle.
And we have enough information that the FBI will be taking over this investigation. And with that, I am going to be asking, this is the assistant agent in charge. This is Agent Duncan, Special Agent Duncan, and she has taken over this
What's up with all of these lady cops and these lady agents? I don't know what that is.
On behalf of us and the FBI. As always, we will be in partnership with all of our partners. But Agent Duncan, if you want to have a few words for me.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. My name is Alethea Duncan. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge for FBI New Orleans. As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we'll be taking over the investigative lead for this event. This is not a terrorist event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found, and we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not.
How is it an improvised explosive device? Let me hear what she said again.
Event. What it is right now is their improvised explosive devices that was found, and we are working on confirming if it's a viable device or not.
That sounds like a terrorist attack to me. Rachel says, why does it matter if they're women? Rachel, come on now. You messing up the joke. I did a whole joke about women, lady cops, and Lil Wayne and Mrs. Officer and stuff. Come on, Rachel. It's a joke. Good God. Y'all, come on. Listen. This is what we're not going to do in 2025. We're not going to be having identity politics take over. Everybody get the jokes. Lady cops get the jokes. People that's on the spectrum get the jokes. Everybody get the jokes. All right? That's why. Because it's funny. Because it's hilarious. And the whole thing of me singing Lil Wayne yesterday was absolutely hilarious to me. But neither here nor there. Let's continue on with the show.
As Chief Kirkpatrick said, we're asking everyone to stay away from Bourbon Street, specifically from Canal Street to St. Anne. That is my ask. Once again, stay away from Bourbon Street, Canal Street, all the way to St. Anne until we can figure out what is going on. Our goal is to provide you additional information at the 11 a.m. press conference. Thank you so much, and we will be in touch.
Yes, I will say that we want our community and our visitors to continue enjoying. There's so much to enjoy about New Orleans.
Time to go home, baby.
We are going to make sure that our routes in the Superdome are safe today for the game.
Nope.
And yet we had this tragic event, and we're sorry again to everyone in our community. But we do want you to go about the day, as we say, just stay away from Bourbon, okay?
Can you elaborate on the device? You did say something about the device.
We actually are not going to be taking questions this morning until we have more information. That's why we will give you an 11 o'clock briefing. So until then, please hold your questions. We will give you everything that we possibly can, okay? So 11 o'clock, we will see you at the headquarters. And we will go again from there, okay? No questions, right?
So I consider it a terrorist attack. It is definitely a terrorist attack. I think a terrorist attack is some of the stuff that happens inside of these neighborhoods. I think that is 100% a terrorist attack. When you rent a truck with a fake ID and you rent an electric vehicle that is much heavier than the gas equivalent, and you run over 50 people, you kill 10 of them, and then you shoot at police officers and you have explosive devices inside of the vehicle, I would tend to say that that is a terrorist attack. I don't know how we qualify what a terrorist is. I don't know how y'all determine what a terrorist attack is nowadays. I would say that that's a terrorist attack. Now, when it comes to, and I get it, right? They're saying, hey, listen, go home. I mean, still attend the Superdome, still do this, still do that. I 100% can almost guarantee when I see multiple crowds in multiple different places at the same time, and you have a lowering of the police. Remember when y'all said defund the police? Remember when y'all said go and get some resource officers and all of that stuff? Well, guess what? That's how people plan some of these attacks. They plan around certain things. They plan to never come back from it. They plan to take a whole lot of people with them. That is what I would describe as a terrorist attack. 100%. So I will stay on top of this, and condolences to all of the friends and the family and the people that was hurt and all of that stuff. I hope that everybody recover, including the 2 police officers that was shot. As I learn more about this, I will give you guys more information. But see, let me tell y'all something else, and this is another reason why I feel like this is so dangerous, is that when we have this rhetoric, remember when y'all was celebrating the Luigi Marchione guy? Well, I think that people then get inspired and incentivized to do some of the same things against people that they may not like. You can't just go out and kill people because you don't like something, or because your life is messed up, or because something is going wrong in your life and then you feel like you need to make a point. That is why the logic is so dangerous. It's not that the industries are all that great, or it's not that society is so awesome. Is that you are now taking out innocent people and you are influencing and impacting other people, which you then have to be accountable for. You got to be accountable for everybody that you affect in a positive or a negative way. You're going to get the credit, or you're going to get reprimanded as a result of it, either down here or up there. It's dumb. It's super dumb. All right. I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on as I get the information. And I'm sure that we'll talk more about it as more information is released all throughout the week. All right. Let me go ahead and read some of these super chats, and then we're going to continue over with the show because we got some more stuff that we got to deal with. Rick H-Town says, 2025, let's show love when we see each other doing better. Don't see me as an op. See me as inspiration. What Anton is doing, we all can do. Much love, AD, and keep making us proud. Well, here's the other caveat to that, Rick H-Town. I agree with you, but I agree with you from the lens of them. What people that are angry at somebody else's success is basically doing is they are stifling their own blessings. You can't be a blessed hater. You can't be a blessed angry person. You can't be a blessed evil person. You can't want harm for somebody else and think that blessings come as a result of it. And then the only way that you can get it is by doing something that you're not supposed to do, which you then have to suffer from it, and you'll never find peace with it. And so a lot of times, and this is the reason why forgiveness is so important, and this is one of the reasons why it's so important for you to pray for a good spirit and great character, is because you hurt you. You don't hurt me. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you show love to somebody else, you bless yourself. When you pray for your enemies, you bless yourself, even when you really don't want to do it. It's not for me, it's for you. Forgiveness, when people say, I don't want to forgive you, okay, I'm going on and I'm living my whole life. Ain't nothing changed with my life. I'm still going to do what I was going to do anyway. When I used to see them stupid shows, Sally Jeffrey Raphael and Ricky Lake and all of that stuff, and they used to have them shows where it would be like, I used to be fat, now I'm all that. And they would jump up there and it would be so embarrassing. It would be such secondhand embarrassment. I would usually catch those shows if I skipped school. That's water under the bridge. So if I skipped school, or if I was sick from school or something like that, oh, you know what? Let me go get some cold cereal and see what's on TV. And it would be all of the things that your grandma would be watching. And I would get such big secondhand embarrassment when people would say stuff like that. I used to be whack, now I'm all that. And the person that they would walk up to, they would be like, okay. And they wouldn't even be all that, but the person wouldn't even remember who the person was that they bullied. But they didn't ask God forgiveness, moved on with their life, then got married, is still doing better than the person that think that they had to prove something to them. And they spent all of this time and they had all of this real estate in their head focused on, I'm going to get this person, I'm going to prove, I hate them. Like, man, don't nobody care about what you got going on. I didn't move. Who are you again? All right, you know what? I'm sorry. You did all of that for a 20-second apology. You did all of that, thank you, for a 20-second apology. And now the person, they going to forget you. They're not even going to remember you going forward from there. You know what I'm saying? So just think about what y'all doing this year before y'all do it. You're going to make yourself look stupid. Shout out to Rick H-Town. Jim Short says, new year, new opportunities. I appreciate you, Jim. Raw Renee says, hey, AD, happy new year. My husband and I will be future bag chasers. Let's have an abundant year. I appreciate you. Shout out to all of the winners. L Boogie in the building says, what up, Anton? You consider doing a salary progression video? Not in the recent years, but from, let's say, ages 25 to 35. Just a thought. I like that idea. Let me write that down. Give me a second. I like that idea. So I'll break down what the expectations are and what you guys should be earning versus what society is telling you. I like that. Phenomenal idea. I like that. Some of y'all give me the inspiration. What up, D? D, you've been missing too. You've been missing. You better not have been being a bad girl. I know who you are. You know I know all about you, D. Says, Happy New Year, long time bag chaser. New year, new bag. Yeah. Tony Pickney says, Anton, it was a lone wolf ISIS attacker. That's a terrorist attack. There has been intelligence report coming out predicting that this would happen along with the development of separate swarming attacks. Well, then that means that I got to be careful of where I go. They may need to cancel the game for the night. Thinking about going to the game tonight. You know it's a terrorist attack when they want to perish as well. Yeah, when you ain't got no reason to live, that's crazy. He killed randoms on purpose, shot at police officers, and had explosives. Sound like a terrorist attack to me too. Also said he forgot his terrorist uniform at home. 63rd Samurai says, Happy New Year, signing up for your Patreon today. If you guys, today is the best day of the entire year to join the Bag Chasers. It's the best day of the entire year. I'm trying to give y'all a chance for y'all to go ahead and get yourselves together so we can go ahead and do this live stream and we can get y'all set off for the year. Shout out to you, 63rd Samurai says, excited to see what my children and I are going to learn. Much too much, good sir. Shout out to you. Kelly Hill is in the building, says, Happy New Year. Love you, Anton. I love you too, 100% with you. I love you too. Jones FX 426 says, some are saying there was an ISIS flag on the back of the truck. I need to learn more information before I confirm that. The suspect was identified as Shamsud Din Jabbar. Would I be profiling if I said that sounded like I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be better in 2025. He was found with an ISIS flag per Charlie Kirk. Well, Charlie Kirk is a good source. He's usually telling the truth. Inauguration needs to step up the security. Oh, it's going to be crazy security at the inauguration. You ain't got to worry about that. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. Let's continue on with the show. So what I would like to call another terrorist attack is a couple different things, right? One from yesterday, and then, or something that we covered on the Millionaire Morning Show yesterday, and then one that we're covering for the first time on the Millionaire Morning Show. So this young man that you're seeing right here, this guy with the hoodie, he did one of the most evil. I believe that the devil is working overtime on y'all in y'all houses. And I don't know if it's because y'all feel like it's too many women that's not answering your DMs. You may have took some information from a podcaster that didn't work for you when it comes to going and getting women. I don't know if it's because people is just broke. I don't know if it's because you got baby mama drama. Whatever it is, for you to be a person, let alone a person in your early 20s, that have your whole life ahead of you and nothing but opportunity to go out there and get the bag and take care of business and enjoy life. And you can do anything that you want to do. You can catch a spirit flight anywhere you want to catch it. You decide that you're going to go outside and push somebody into an oncoming subway, and you timed it perfectly. So for all of the people out there that is all for doing some of the worst things to society, I hope y'all feel like trash. I hope you feel like the bottom of a toilet seat inside of a public restroom that homeless people use to clean themselves. I hope y'all feel like trash. Whose super chat didn't I read? Did I miss a super chat? I'll go back through it just to make sure. I didn't mean to forget a super chat. Y'all let me know whose super chat I didn't read. Somebody send me your car. Send that to me or what super chat I didn't read if you notice it. But I hope y'all feel like trash. And you know the worst part about it is that this isn't the first time that this happened within the last month. People have been pushing people on the tracks and over in New York City for a long time and burning them up. Let's get to the story. I want y'all to see what's happening over in New York City in the subways.
To have some big news today. First, a horrific scene on the New York City subway. The video difficult to watch. A man injured after he was out of nowhere, shoved in front of an oncoming train in Chelsea. The suspect quickly captured by police.
There he is. Let's see if we can get a better freeze frame.
Shoved in front of an oncoming train in Chelsea. The suspect quickly captured by.
There he is. That's your culprit. That's your culprit. There he is. Get a good look at him. They said, Anton, you shouldn't profile. Shit. You lied to me. You lied to me. I very well think that this guy could be, what's his name? The warring angel inside of the chat. This could very much be one of the Dusties that's inside of the chat. They see me go out to the car, or they see you go out to the car, and then you got all of this jewelry on. You got a good life. You got a good wife. You got great kids. You got cars to drive, a roof over your head, no debt, and you got an extra job. Be careful. They might be trying to push you onto the subway, because it ain't going to be me that they get to. It's going to be somebody else, some poor sap that was waiting to catch the subway to work. The next thing you know, they're going to be pushing you onto the subway. He looked just like the Warren Angel. No, don't get offended now. Don't get offended now. You wanted to troll. You wanted to say stuff inside of the chat. So I'm going to give you the energy that you wanted. We giving out all energy in 2025. We giving out all the energy that people want in 2025. This looks just like some of the people that I see inside of the chat. Look at him. Get a look at him. Get a good look at him. Let me see something. Hold on. Let me see. Look like relatives to me. Look like relatives to me. What y'all think? Look like relatives to me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It's an unfortunate story, though. Let's get to it.
By police and just charged with attempted murder. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon has the story.
The chilling video obtained by Eyewitness News shows a man standing close to the edge of the platform behind a couple of ferry evaders and another man approaching and casually shoving him.
That's crazy. That is absolutely insane.
In front of a one train just after 1:30 this afternoon at 18th Street. First responders would go between the stopped subway cars to rescue the 45-year-old victim and take him to Bellevue Hospital.
How do you even survive
Sources
that?
tell us he is a New York City resident and is in stable condition tonight. Less than an hour after the attack, a suspect was in custody, identified as 23-year-old Kamel Hawkins of Brooklyn. Tonight, riders on the same Chelsea platform headed to their New Year's Eve destinations are calling the attack brutal and scary.
I'm ready to go back home.
Y'all better gird up. Be careful. Don't even stand next to the platform no more. Gird up.
Go back home. I came here for a good time, and I'm scared that things like this might happen to me.
Now, he pushed a white man onto the tracks, right? Let's mine this out from every angle. He pushed a white man onto the tracks. How much would y'all want to bet that if it was a white man pushing a black man onto the tracks, that y'all would label it a hate crime? I think that this is a hate crime. I think that white people should absolutely be outraged. Outraged. I think that they need to keep the same energy. I believe that white people should be absolutely outraged at the hate crime that's being perpetuated by this 23-year-old black man. If it was the other way around, and we gonna address all things. Ben Crump would be there, Al Sharpton would be there, D.L. Hughley would be there, Ricky Smiley would be there, Jamil Hill would be there, Angela Rye, Charlamagne the God, they would all be there. Kamala Harris would be there. If this was a white man pushing a black man onto the tracks, they would automatically, by default, label it a hate crime and say that it was racism. without any evidence whatsoever. 100%. Which shows you how hypocritical and how identity politics laden we are as a culture and as a society. We don't look at it as an individual thing and then wait for the evidence. We automatically would label it a hate crime, and y'all will be out there protesting tomorrow. Tomorrow.
They want to hike fares up and they want to do certain things, but they can't even keep the people of New York City protected. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sad.
New Yorkers must feel safe.
Today, the mayor defended his efforts to get people off the subway system who are sleeping or seem like they need mental health services. He pointed to lower crime on the subway in 2024 and declines overall since 2009.
I don't even
But
I don't
admits
like
the
standing close to the
perception
yellow
just
line.
doesn't match the reality.
People don't want to hear that. They said someone just got burned, Eric. If someone is shoved to the subway system on the tracks, people are seeing and feeling what they're reading. So our success is overshadowed.
And the cameras that help lead to arrests, like they did tonight, also make those disturbing crimes more visible to more people.
I actually still feel relatively safe. It's a big city and there's a lot of subway stations and a lot of people commuting, but
Love that enthusiasm from you, Ethan. Love that. You know what? One person, one crime. You see how forgiving white people are? You see how forgiving white people are? They don't even by default. They feel so shamed. Y'all been shaming them for so long that they don't even feel comfortable calling you out on your BS when you do some of the most egregious things and you push somebody into a subway. You know what? One person, one crime. I still feel relatively safe. I don't see the problem here. Ethan Barsh is 100% all for giving people grace. You can push his brother in front of a subway car, and Ethan he not tripping. You know what? I hope he recover. I'm praying for him. And we definitely don't need to have the death penalty at all. Ethan is not. White people have a different sentiment. You know what, guys? One person, one band, one sound. One band, one sound. Black people, Ifatunde. And I can't believe that they would allow for this white man to come over into New York City. New York City. I thought about opening up a school there. We looked at different locations in New York City. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. We looked at different, I need you to understand, overstand, and understand where we were looking at schools. Now, what if that was one of our black babies? What if that was one of our black babies and our sisters have been donating to the school since 2004? That's why we can't get the school open, because we are too afraid of snow bunnies and snow hares coming over and pushing us into the subway system. That's why you got to hit the Cash App. That is why you have to hit the Cash App, because we can't stand. This young man should never have been lost in the system. It is the system's fault. It is not the fault of the young man himself. And I'm sure that his black African queen mother did all that she can to make sure that he was raised, set aside, and it was probably a black man's fault for leaving this sister, and the reason why this 24, 23-year-old man pushed a snow hare on to this subway system. There was a system. You know what? I'm going into the bush of Ghana. I'm going into the bush of Nigeria. I'm going into the bush of Haiti. All my Haiti African black sisters and brothers. All my Ghanaian black brothers and sisters. Hate crimes are on the rise, and they're grooming you to go to jail. Now, if you don't feel compelled, sisters, to invest and these brothers' businesses, then why should they marry you? Hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. Meanwhile, on the other side of the United States of the Americas, they've recently caught the LA shooter. You know, the one that was shooting up targets and stuff like that? They caught him. Hit the Cash App. Here we go.
Breaking news at 5. Tense moments during a SWAT standoff in the Westlake District. A man arrested in connection with the shooting of 2 security guards outside a Target store. Welcome everyone to the Fox 11 News at 5 o'clock.
Shout out to the Prince of Pan-Africanism, Ifatunde. we love you over here, Umar. You have been a source of entertainment for a long time. We rocking with you in 2025, big dog.
Simulcast on our sister station, Fox 11 Plus. I'm Marla Tejas, here for Alex Michelson.
And I'm Christine Devine. We have this update for you. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf live with breaking details on the end of a standoff and the earlier mall shooting from last night. Matthew.
Yeah, Christine, Marla, pretty dramatic moments. We heard at least 3, maybe even 4 pops. We're now learning that was tear gas, and then police arrested that suspect believed to be responsible for last night's shooting at the nearby Target Mall location. Right now, you can see police have their SWAT crews packing up from outside this apartment. Just an intense day for everyone in this area. An intense SWAT standoff in downtown L.A. Police sources tell Fox 11 the man responsible for Monday night's double shooting at the Figuette 7th Mall Target store is barricaded here.
We don't have constant communication with the individual. We don't have no communication with the individual. This is basically a tip that we received from the community.
LAPD SWAT team surrounding this building near Ingraham and Lucas, what neighbors describe as a low-income housing apartment. You recognize this person?
No, I've never seen him a day in my life, to be honest with you. No, he don't be over here.
Surveillance photos show the alleged shooter inside the Target Monday night.
This is what we fear when we have shoplifters, is this deadly confrontations where somebody pulls a gun.
Authorities say he tried stuffing a suitcase with about $1,500 worth of merchandise and walking out, but was confronted by security, then started shooting.
So now that they didn't close the loopholes with Prop 47 and the people not letting you just steal out of the stores over there in California against Gavin Newsom's wishes, now y'all feeling like y'all got to shoot people. Now you feeling like you got to, so you can't sell your products on Facebook Marketplace. And so you just made yourself a target and you're going to be doing the rest of your life in jail because you can't steal. Imagine going to jail for the rest of your life over $1,500 in merchandise. Not cash, because if you steal $1,500 in merchandise, you only going to get about $420 in return because you got to discount it so much because you got to find the right buyer. And it's a lot of unscrupulous buyers on Facebook Marketplace. It's a lot of unscrupulous buyers on Facebook Marketplace. What does that mean, Anton? You know when you are getting stolen merchandise. You know you getting stolen merchandise half the time on Facebook Marketplace, but you're going to say, not my problem. Not my problem. So you're going to get about $420 because y'all trying to justify the high cost of living over Kamala Harris and Biden. And so now he feeling some type of way because he can't get his $420 and he going to spend the rest of his life in prison. That's a bad dude, big dog.
Quick fired at least 5 rounds. You know, he could have shot multiple people in that mall. So this particular individual has demonstrated just a wanton disregard for human life.
We're right here by the door. That's how close we were.
You see the sign that says expect more, pay less. Expect more, pay less. You might remember when they was trying to get on me about having a job earlier in the show? This is why I got a job, so that I don't have to be on nobody's body cam, either getting arrested like Benzino did the other day, or I don't have to be getting arrested in some lower income housing from trying to steal, but I decided I wanted to shoot somebody because I didn't want to go to jail that day. That's why we have jobs. Expect more lower prices.
In a mall full of people around 9 p.m., 2 security guards were shot and rushed to the hospital. One has since been released. The other remains in critical condition.
You got to bring a gun to steal like that? There were crowded peoples? I mean, that was stupid.
Shoppers now reacting to what happened.
People should be thinking about going into a new year with, positivity, and let's just
arrest them all. Arrest them all. Arrest them and then deport the migrants that are stealing. We need to get some act right here. Y'all not going to do this in other countries, but y'all going to do it here in the United States of America. Listen, stop making excuses for criminals. Stop making excuses why people can do some of the worst things. Y'all don't do that over in Turks and Caicos. They find a bullet in your book bag, you doing 10 years. Y'all don't do that over in Dubai. You can't even go to the pool at the same time as the men. You don't do that over in the UAE. You don't disrespect people and get out of line when you over in Japan and Tokyo. You don't go over there and do some of the worst behaviors over in these other countries when you over here using your passport, but you want to come over. I hate when I see people throw trash out the window when we in the city. We riding down the street and I see somebody flick a cigarette. Hey man, you won't do this when you go home. You're not doing this when you go back out to the suburbs. Don't do it down here. Everybody want to do some of the worst things and then justify, well, they feeling down and out. Guess what? You feel down and out over there and do that and see how that plays out. Disrespectful. Criminals are on the rise doing some of the worst thing they can to society, and we justify it and act like and make them heroes. Only in America. Only in America. Shout out to P. Shank. P. Shank says, Happy New Year. Good morning and Happy New Year, Anton. Shout out to P. Shank. Happy New Year to you, baby. Shelby Scott says, this is my first live show. I just wanted to thank you for the awesome content and perspective. I'm also joining the bag chase. Shout out to all of the new chasers. Welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome. D. Moore says, busy opening new properties in the ATL. Okay. I like that. Just don't become a stranger. Just jump in and say, Anton, I'm watching, but I don't type a lot. But just listen. Hey, I'm here with you, baby. Let me know, D. I want to see you. I remember you, Christina Holloman. I like that name. That is a nice, wholesome name. When you run into a woman named Christina Holloman, that is a woman that can get a job just like that. Christina's mother was thinking about her future prospects when she named her Christina. Christina Holloman is a nice, wholesome name for a woman. You're going to be able to get into college without no problems. You can get in a job. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to have no men that's automatically labeling you for the streets. They're going to give you an opportunity. They're going to give you a chance. Christina Holloman is a nice, wholesome name. Says, happy blessed New Year to you and yours. Shout out to look at her. Amazing husband. You see that? Married, feeling good, happy, glowing. Who I get to continue to do beautiful life with. You are a gift. Look at Christina. Let me give Christina a round of applause. You see that? That is probably one of the most wholesome names I've seen in the chat today. You don't even know if that's a black woman or a white woman just by the name alone. Get that resume. Christina Holloman. You know what? I want to talk to Christina. Hey, snitches. United over here. He must haven't heard about the theme song. Snitching is what we do. King of snitching. No lie. No lie to tell. Shout out to Magnetar17. I want to acknowledge Abe the Hunter. Says, why don't they have their subways set up like Japan subways are with the platform protection? We have to do better in 2025. Well, if y'all want that, then you're going to have to spend your money from a taxpayer's perspective, right? Marquette Dust says, salute AD, new bag chaser here. Shout out to the chasers. Ava Kiss in the building says, am on the replay. I've been a silent bag chaser for at least a year. Shout out to the silent chasers. Waiting on today. Excited to join. I'm in the hospital at the moment, but I cannot miss my Anton in the morning. Hopefully I can give you some joy. God bless you in the hospital. This is the greatest morning show on earth. Brock in the building says, pass a love offering. Been watching from the clouds, but always watching. Happy New Year to you and Mrs. Daniels. You are greatly appreciated, bro. For real, for real. Thank you, Brock. Stylist Factory says, new bag chaser growing a network of hairstylists. I see you. I see you. Chat for more says, well, 2025 is starting off with a bang, bang. Peace and Pan-Africanism to you, Mr. Daniel says Boomer Sooner. King Music says Merry New Year. We tuned in all 2025. Jones FX 426 report of a Cybertruck explosion near Trump Towers in Las Vegas. All right, well, I'm going to have to pay attention to that. I'm going to pay attention to that. I am going to pay attention to that. Hey, before we get to the next subject, don't y'all fair weather me this year. Anton, what does that mean to fair weather you? Don't y'all. Oh, Kershaw. Shout out to Kershaw says they may need to cancel the game tonight. I appreciate you, Kershaw says, you know it's a terrorist attack when they want to perish as well. Shout out to Kershaw. JL says, hey, Anton, Happy New Year. This is the year I plan on growing closer to Jesus. Oh, yeah, I read that one. Good day, Anton. This is Mika, boyfriend. I read that one. The majority of this is Cast Couch. Read that one. All right, I got them all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, 2025, let's show love and we don't see. Okay, I read that one. Jim Shore says, New Year, new opportunities. I appreciate you. Raw Renee says, hey, AD, happy NY. My husband and I will continue to be future bag chasers. Let's have the abundance year. Hopefully, I caught all of the super chats. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want the software to mess it up, all right? But I don't want y'all to switch up on me either this year. God said, take your time and cook with the people today. And why is the like so low? All of these thousands and thousands of people that's watching this right now, and we got these low likes. Don't switch up on me this year. What does Anton mean? Don't start off with me in 2025 saying y'all gonna hold me down. You're gonna be a loyal watcher. You're gonna make sure that you join the Bag Chasers. You're gonna see me at the meetup. I love you, Anton. I rock with you, Anton. I think you the best, Anton. You help me level up, Anton, and help me get to $250,000 a year, $300,000 a year. I'm about to become a millionaire because of you. And then I don't see you all year. Don't fair weather me. Make a decision right now. Either you're with me or you against yourself. Either you're with me or you against yourself. Don't switch up on me. Don't sit there and say you're going to rock with me and then you show up sometimes and you don't show up sometimes, or you get mad at your boyfriend and then Anton says something that your boyfriend looked like and now you feeling some type of way. Either you rocking with me. Make your decision right now. Draw your line in the sand right now. Either you rocking with the greatest morning show on the face of the earth and we turning it up. Why do I keep throwing that? This look throwable. Either you rocking with, and Classy Beats has bought this for me. All right. Shout out to Classy Beats. Yeah. Either you rocking with the greatest morning show on the face of the earth. Don't come back at the end of the year when we at 1 million. And then you want to sit, because I've been rocking with you all year. No, you didn't. You watched 3 shows. You seen season 1, season 5, episode 1, season 5, episode 45, and season 5, episode 232. If you rolling and rolling. If you rolling, you rolling. Old man says, I'm not joining the Bag Chaser, you tripping. That's why you old. You an old fool. That's what you are. I'm not joining the Bag Chaser, you tripping. You an old fool. You already subscribed. You going to be old and broke? So you subscribe to tell me that you not joining the Chasers. Okay, I know an old fool when I see one. I'm going to call you what your mama named you. Old fool. I'm not joining the Bag Chasers. You tripping. Boy, you got a QR code as your profile picture. If that ain't one of the dustiest things that I done seen in a long time, boy, if you don't get your life together, you old, dusty, busted, shoes running over, you the type of old man that wear Ugg boots. You wear Ugg boots. I could tell just from your QR code. You a Ugg boot wearing, dusty hair in the sky, always asking me for money every time I go to the corner store. Obama phone watching, old fool. No, an old fool when I see one. I see y'all every single day. Standing outside of this. Nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Ladies, get it for the fellas. Fellas, don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. You can tell I feel good this year. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. Anyways, let's continue over with the show. Don Lemonade is in the building. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. Don Lemonade is in the building. Don Lemon did a crash out session the other day. And he got him a little bit of visibility. And he said, I'm going to capitalize off of that. Shout out to Keisha. Are you with me? And so he said he going to capitalize off of it. I haven't seen this. People sent it to me. And so I'm going to go ahead and react to it and see what he's talking about. Let me preface this by saying that Don Lemon crashed out and he started calling people that support Republicans and MAGA stupid, and he was cursing at them, and he was saying some of the wildest things. I'm not going to replay it. You can go and see it for yourself. I did a reaction to it yesterday. And so now, apparently, he's going to clap back. Who does a cover photo and say Don Lemon claps back? That is one of the most sassy claps back. Don Lemon claps back. It's supposed to say Don Lemon destroys his haters. Don Lemon doubles down on the stuff that he said about MAGA folk and saying that they were stupid and dumb because they didn't understand immigration policies and how it was going to affect them. Don Lemon claps back. Don Lemonade claps back. Let's get Don Lemon's reaction. I haven't seen this, but we're going to get to it, y'all.
Okay, so make sure, guys, hit record, call your reporters or on your board. I don't give a you-know-what, okay? I don't give a you-know-what because the hypocrisy is astounding as it relates to especially the MAGA folks right now and the right-wing media. It is astounding, the hypocrisy. Now, let me just say,
I hear y'all.
I said something.
Shout out to my girl, Clavette.
In reference to, I was responding to the MAGA folks who were being racist in regards to the gentleman that Donald Trump nominated to be the head of AI. They were on the internet, look it up yourself, being very racist and very vitriolic about Donald Trump appointing this person. And Vivek Ramaswamy got involved, and then he insulted, according to them, the MAGA people. Okay? So, as always, everybody gets all butthurt. I'm not referring to all of Trump supporters. I'm talking to the MAGA brain people who will say and do anything to make excuses for any behavior that Donald Trump does.
Don, just own it, bro. You know what make people respect you? As a content creator, and I'm talking to you guys that's watching this right now. What makes people respect you is if you stand on it, or you say, you know what, I meant what I said, or you can say, you know what, I was off on it. But when you try to, whenever I hear people say, and I wasn't talking to all of y'all, I was only talking to some of y'all, it weakens your argument because you're trying to act like you're doubling down on it, but in reality, you're apologetic because you catching flack. So you're not really clapping back. You really just being a little bit more apologetic. But I expect that for Don Lemonade. Let's continue.
Any bad behavior that the MAGA movement does. So yes, I stand by my words. And if you don't like what I said, then too effing bad. I don't care.
No, you was cussing the other day and you said, hold on, let me go and get this video now. I got to go get the video because he was cursing. Don Lemonade. Let's see where we can find it. Don Lemonade. Past live streams. Now he want to censor his word. Now he want to be a little bit more quiet. Now he's being a little bit more mindful and he's using the letters. You know what? And F that. No, you were saying you stupid mother effers or whatever you were saying. Let me pull it up. Because I don't want to misquote you. I want to make sure that we get this right. You're not going to gaslight me. Now you want to change your rhetoric and stuff like that. Let me see what he was saying. It's around an 8-minute mark, I believe.
Thing. Oh, and also, you know, we're going to deport migrants. Come here. I told you this. I've been telling you this for years. They come. What? The tech folks like that because they believe they're good workers. There are people who cannot unionize. A lot of them. And now they're figuring out without these people, we cannot do our tech. The folks who are supporting Donald Trump, the folks who you want to put in charge of the Doges already knew that. And so it is the same thing. There's a correlation here. They're realizing if you get rid of these and it's get rid of those, just as if you try honestly, illegally, then you can't. Then folks in the farming industries, their jobs. Some farmer that they can run their farms, and then after that, it's over. Oh my gosh, I love this. Now you're finding out, you dumb fucking idiots. Now,
see, he was feeling himself. This is what happens when you become a new content creator because Don Lemon is used to being on CNN and, you know, being scripted and being given a script and saying things that's basically reading from a teleprompter. But when you go off script and you got the chat next to you and you start getting that battery in your back because you're a new content creator, you start feeling yourself. Now you're going to double down and you're going to triple down because it's like, oh man, they really love me. They support me. They sending me super chats. So now I'm going to say the wild thing. You dumb effing mother effing MAGA people, all of this stuff. He was all in. He was all in on talking worse than he ever done talked. Oh, Don, we love you. We love it when you go unscripted. We like this, Don, better. And this is what he was saying.
I love this. Now you're finding out, you dumb fucking idiots. Now you're just figuring this shit out. You're so fucking stupid and you deserve it. You fucking deserve it because you're so dumb. Jim, it's hypocrisy. So go with me here. Yes, I am gloating over your stupidity and how you were taken. I'm cackling in Kamala, says in Shanta. I am
cackling in Kamala.
You have been co-opted because you're in a fucking cult and you don't even realize it because you have stupid MAGA brain.
That's Don. That's what Don was on the other day. Now Don is speaking in letters.
And if you don't like what I said, then too effing bad. I don't
see the difference. You see the difference? You see the difference? And if you don't like what I said, too effing bad. You got to keep the same energy 100% of the time. Keep the same energy. Don't switch up now. Don't switch up now, Lemon Live at 5.
Care. And let me point the hypocrisy out to you because you guys always say we are not we are not voting for what? A pastor in chief. Sometimes I have an issue with some of the things that he says. It's true. I don't like how he says it, but it's true. So
somebody said he got a nice living room though. Yeah, I'll give him that. They say that, honestly, they say that sassy men are the best interior decorators anyway. I can't take that away from him. Him and his guy probably decorated it. They carefully, let me change it. Y'all didn't decorate because that's what us po folks say. It was carefully curated, and this piece accents this piece, and that piece brings out the color in your eyes. His living room is absolutely well curated. 100%. I'll give him that.
You have to have the same standards for other people that you have for your guy. Some of you, the cult leader, okay? You guys have a higher, this is how messed up you are. You have a higher expectation of me, an independent journalist, a former cable news host, than you do for the person who sits in the Oval Office. Because his mouth is worse than mine. He calls everybody dumb. He calls black women dumb. He's called me dumb. He calls people stupid. He's called Kamala Harris stupid. He's called her names. And he's used profanity against athletes. He called them sons of bees. He calls people out of their names all the time. And you love it. But when someone says the truth about you, you get all butthurt and you get all in your feelings.
You get all butthurt, guys. They don't even cuss you out the right way. It don't hit the same. It just don't hit the same. When you gotta curse somebody out. That's why I try to change my language to be a lot more mindful of the people that are watching this, that's in the churches and stuff like that. But when you say a word, you gotta mean that junk. You gotta mean it. You gotta mean it.
So what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh, God.
What's good for the Donald is good for the Don.
Oh, how corny. I don't think I'm gonna make it through this. What's good for the Donald, he probably practiced that 8 times in his living room before he went live. And what's good for the Donald is good for the Don. Come on, man. All right, let's try to focus on the message, not the messenger. Let's focus on the message, not the messenger. All right, y'all? What's good for the Donald is good for the Don. And he said that with his chest. It's good for the Don.
So my new energy going into 2025 is this. When Donald Trump tones down his rhetoric, he stops calling people names, he stops being racist, he stops using profanity, then I will. Now, when I was in legacy media, I would always say, if something didn't just tumble out of my mouth.
Yes, dog. Am I not the only person? Enos Luby. This guy has made millions from legacy media that he's talking about, and he has this light up mic. Dog, am I the only person? I didn't want to say it because I'm trying to focus on the messenger and see communication. You know how our brain work over here at the Millionaire Morning Show. We the Millionaire Derailment Show. So we look at all of the different things. We look at all of the different things that's going on. We look at the microphone. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Communication is 90% body language, 10% what you say. I looked at that microphone and I said, no, he did not get the glow up microphone. Did he really get the glow up microphone? The LGBTQ microphone? Did he get the glow up mic? Come on, bro. Honestly, seriously, I was saying the same thing. I see the ladies with that. I think I seen, who was it? Courtney Michelle, my homegirl, Courtney Michelle, something like that had that mic. I don't remember who had that microphone. And that's cool for the ladies. But you are a former legacy media CNN host, and you got the glow up microphone, bro. Come on, fam. I said the same thing. All right, focus on the message, not the messenger. Let's focus, y'all. Let's get it.
I sometimes forgot that I was on television. I always say my thing would be, what would Oprah do, right? Because Oprah was a mentor, right? What would Bryant do? What would Bryant Gumbel do? He's a mentor. What would those mentors do? Because that was a different time, traditional media. And what would Michelle Obama do, right? Because Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high.
Oh, God. He's calling him.
I love you, Michelle Obama. We can't do that in this environment. And I saw glimmers of that at the Democratic convention this year when you and your husband, the former president, went off. I loved that energy. So sometimes for the folks who are in traditional media and you certain way and you operate on light and joy and not offending people. Oprah, I love you, but sometimes Gail, love you guys. Sometimes you need a proxy. I am your proxy. I am your anger translator, like Barack Obama's anger translator. Okay, we'll get to that in just a moment. But let's talk about what happened. So you can put the video up. So I did this video, and people were like, someone said, "Oh, he's doing the show out of his living room, out of his house." I'm doing it out of my house because it's the holidays. I have a studio, so don't even whatever to that. But let me just show you the hypocrisy.
Now he getting distracted by the comments. He not what he think he is yet. I'm sure that he'll get a decent following, especially if you're, you got your legacy media and all of that stuff. That no doubt whatsoever, I think that he's gonna do just fine on YouTube. He's getting distracted by the comments. This dude is literally getting distracted by the comments. He's supposed to be spewing out a message, and he doing what we doing, and he doing the Millionaire Derailment Show instead of focusing on the message. Come on, Don, focus, big dog.
All of this. You got upset because you thought I was talking to all MAGA folks. I'm not talking to all MAGA folks. I'm not calling all Donald Trump supporters racist. I'm not calling all Donald Trump supporters stupid. I have Donald Trump supporters in my own family. And you know what they said to me? Thank you for saying what you said, because he betrayed a campaign promise. He told us that he was going to cut down on immigration, and it wasn't just going to be certain people. And the reason I talked about it was because, as I said, the racist MAGA people online being racist against Indian Americans. Donald Trump and the MAGA people have now figured out that they need immigrants in order for this economy to survive, in order for our country to survive.
Y'all, wow.
In order for our country to survive. Farmers have said that. Farmers said that.
Elizabeth,
to my friend over at CNN when she interviewed him. He said, we need migrants. We need immigrants. Otherwise, we would be in business for about 2 days and we wouldn't be able to.
All right, we get it. We get it. So he's trying to explain himself. He's saying that he didn't say everything about everybody, but he's supposedly clapping back and doubling down on his haters. I got you, Don. I got you. I hear you, bro. I hear you, broski. With all of your female mentors. Shout out to Don Lemon. I'm very, I get excited a lot of times when I see certain people become content creators and then they move over into the same platforms that we've been championing for years, because it's going to become fodder for years to come. Absolutely. All this does is give me more content to react to and speak about on a regular basis. Absolutely. Don Lemonade, shout out to you and much luck on your journey. I place him in the same boat, in the same basket, the same fruit basket. No pun intended. No pun intended. I'm saying basket of different things. So you got oranges, apples, bananas, whatever. Y'all know what I meant to say. You know what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say, like, it's the same basket, but you have different fruit in it. Put them in the same basket as The View. The same basket is all of the rest of these nutcases. I put him in the same basket. Real talk. He's trying to capitalize off of the visibility. It's a smart move. Double down so you can get people like me to react to it. Shout out to Don Lemonade. Shout out to the Lemonade. You can't unsee the light up. Oh my gosh. We haven't checked out The View lately. Nobody's been sending me anything on on The View. Is The View still doing their thing? Is they still being bothered by what's going on with the Trump administration? Y'all send me more insight. I want to know what's going on. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we are going to move on to the show. It's one person that is saying something that I really want to have this conversation about. We're going to get there. Victor Williams says, old man El Dusto. I don't know Spanish, but I know what El Dusto means. AD, you give life lessons, motivation, inspiration on a daily basis. Nobody does it like you. We're riding with you 2025 and beyond. Shout out to my girl, Jerry. Clavetta Drew in the building. Clavetta says, Happy New Year. Last year, you invested in me. Aw. Tear coming down my eyes. I now make 1/3 of my annual salary in 2 weeks. Have a rental property and move back home to invest in my business. Thank you for your coaching and belief in me. God will continue to bless you and Rita. Much Love. Hey, can we get a round of applause for the bag chasers that's in the building? Who got these type of testimonials? Keyshawn White says, some people love division and chaos, especially if it benefits them. Okay, I feel you. That, I mean, it could be some truth to that. Listen to you and doing some cardio, bro. Get to it then, big dog. I love that. David Williams says, this bottom should watch who he... Jesus Christ. Y'all so mean. Anton, LOL, Anton, you slow dog. You need to be a comedian. Because he said the dawn with some extra zest. Steve Montage Official says, what's goes for L and is good for the L? Oh, Jesus. I'm not reading. I'm not doing it. With Janice says, thank you for all of your hustle harder videos. They truly hit home for me because when I'm adding goals to an already filled day, try again with some goals. Doing it times tab, boss. Boss. Elizabeth Loveland says, I met Donnie at least a dozen times. He has a vacation home in the Hamptons where I live. Shout out to Elizabeth. I need to get me an Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? He loves to hang at the local bar and gather young men around him. And tell stories about himself, and he giggles when he drinks. Oh my God. Elizabeth, you got to let me know some more of these stories. Class E beats in the building. Says Don thinks he is him, but all he is they. Chip the Great says, what up, though, with the 2-ball? Appreciate you, Chip. Don needs a spanking. No, we're not going to do that. Anton, he's a Fruity Loop, of course. He is going to have a fruit. Oh, my God. Y'all crazy. Mrs. Foxes says, Happy New Year, AD. I don't get to chat often, but I'm always watching. Met you for the first time in Dallas. Okay, all right, Miss Foxy. On my actual B-Day and locked in ever since. Thank you for the value you provide. You have influenced my life for the better. If people have not kicked it with me in person like Miss Foxy, y'all need to come and kick it with Tom Dog. I am one of the nicest people, and I am the same person, if not more, in person. Lemon probably wears light-up Skechers. I told Rita I was going to get her some Skechers, some light-up Skechers. She keep on acting like she's too good for it. I don't need it. I said it'll help with your arch and your support. Don Lemonade Extra Sweet. Chip the Great in the building says, what up, AD? This is my first super chat, and I'm joining the Bag Chasers today. Y'all want to tap into the Patreon, link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right, so I want to get into more of what I was doing last year that I thought was very productive and awesome. You want some Skechers? That's ugly. I'm trying to do something nice for you. Nah, I got you. Yeah, man. I want to get into more of what I was doing last year. And part of what I was doing last year was giving visibility to other content creators, especially those that's on the come up. And I want to continue to do that this year. Now, this young man in particular, and shout out to all of y'all that hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This young man in particular is saying that he is graduating with $100,000 in student loan debt. His name, make sure I get that name right. Give me a second. His name and his channel is called Sincere. He has, as of this recording, this live stream, 903 subscribers. If you are enjoying his content, and I always like to give visibility again, regardless of whether I agree with him or not. I have not seen this whole video. I've only seen about 30 seconds to make sure that it is something that is reasonable to react to, especially since you guys sent it to me. His name is Sincere. He got 903 subscribers. If you want to go and check out his content, feel free to do so. I will put a link to his channel if I decide to clip this up. But again, go and check him out. If you rock with him, shout out to all of the content creators. And he's saying again that he's graduating with $100,000 in debt. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
So this month, I'm walking across this.
And I'm going to be reading Cash App shortly, all right? All right? Y'all with me? Let's get it.
Stage with a diploma in one hand and $100,000 in debt in the other hand. And I really don't know how to feel about that just yet. The only reason why I truly went to college was because of my mom, right? When I was in high school, I was like, I don't want to go to college in the first place, right? I kind of
Van Roo, that's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get to the thick of things to find out what he has a degree in, because $100,000 in debt does not necessarily have to be a bad thing, depending on what you specialize in. If you decided that you wanted to be a neurosurgeon, or if you wanted to be some high-powered lawyer or something like that, you decided that you wanted to be in cybersecurity, we can make the sacrifice and we're going to make that money and we're going to pay that back ASAP, and then we're going to have us a lifetime career and something to fall back on for the rest of our life. So let's see what he's specializing in.
already knew I wanted to do like YouTube, be an entrepreneur, go down, the digital route, in other words. But, my mom was raised in a different, headspace. She went and got her master's and stuff like that. So that was the headspace she was pushing on me at the time, right? So, you know how parents be and be like, hey, if you're going to stay here, you got to go to school, right? And so at the time I was like, whatever. And I ended up going to Cal State Northridge, right, for business real estate. And then, bro, long story short, I didn't want to be there no more. I ended up failing all my classes on purpose and got kicked out.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna be one of those type of videos. All right, so first of all, y'all can go ahead and throw away the whole college is a scam rhetoric. Throw away college is a scam rhetoric. Anton, why are you saying that? I'm gonna replay it for you one more time because I want you to hear what he said out of his own mouth. All right?
For business real estate. And then,
first of all, he was going for business real estate. You don't even have to go to college for business real estate. You should pick a degree program that's actually something that society needs and that there's a shortage of. But listen to what he says.
Bro, long story short, I didn't want to be there no more. I ended up failing all my classes on purpose and got kicked out. And
so he took out student loans, and because he was emotional, he decided that he was going to fail his classes on purpose. That is not college is a scam rhetoric, y'all. For all of y'all that have saying this, and he's not saying that, but for all of y'all that usually say that college is a scam or something like that, when you go and you fail your classes on purpose, that would be like me going to the dealership and buying a car and then crashing it on purpose with no insurance. That is like me going to the dealership and buying a $100,000 car and then driving it into the lake with no insurance. That makes no sense whatsoever. So you went to go fail because you didn't feel like it. Y'all see why it's important for us to have strong male father figures in your life? You see why it's important for us to start being intentional? Because we can't just, and then you know what happens? Let me tell you what happens. We then go and we say, you know what? We're going to stay on the Democratic plantation because Biden promised us student loan forgiveness. I can't pay my student loans. That is up to the taxpayers to bail us out because they don't bail you out with their money. They're bailing you out with your money, with our money. So we go to work every day. We grind, we hustle, we do the right thing. We give our money to the federal government. The federal government then gives it to Biden. Biden and Congress says that we want to go ahead and give all of this money out to these people in order to tie them to the Democratic Party. And then that's when they start asking for student loan forgiveness. Honest to God, that is the cycle. We go, we have these self-inflicted wounds. We blame the system for it. And then we ask the federal government for forgiveness, and we tie ourselves to the Democratic Party because we didn't have strong male figures in our lives. Honest to God. Real talk. Let me hear some more of his story before I keep reacting. But the first minute tells me everything that I need to know. The first minute tells me every single thing that I need to know.
In the back of my head, I knew I still need to go to school. So I found this film school since it was kind of correlated to what I wanted to do digitally anyways. And now it's about 4 years later, I'm about to have the bachelor's in visual effects and editing. But
you don't need a bachelor's degree in visual effects and editing, fam. You can literally go and do a little course. You can go to YouTube. You don't even have to pay for a course. You can go to YouTube University and they will teach you everything that you need to know about visual effects and editing. Whether you're using Final Cut Pro or Premiere, Creative Cloud, whatever it is that you want to use, Premiere. This is crazy, bro.
I just got that email for the tuition. And looking at it, it was like, wow.
Nope, Jennifer. Nope. Don't blame it on the school advisors. Don't got nothing to do with the school advisor. Listen. School advisors are there to help you to understand and answer your questions, whether it be what credits are transferable, how many classes you're going to have to take before you get to the end of your journey, what you will need in order to qualify to get into certain degree programs, how competitive the nursing program is, so on and so forth. School advisors are not there to fix you. School advisors are there to do that. Advise you. You still have to make an informed decision for yourself. You are an adult. Do not blame it on the school advisors.
Because
I didn't need a school advisor. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I just wanted to get some more insight from them so that I can confirm what I already knew.
Personally, I don't think that was worth $100,000. Right?
You just not figured that out, big?
Now, you can say like knowledge is invaluable, right? Just being experienced to different things and having your eyes open is invaluable, right? Of course. But something I've noticed is that a lot of the things that was being taught in school was things that you probably could have just went on the internet and found anyways, right? You could have just did a simple YouTube search and found it.
That's what I said. I just said that. He just said it. You could have did a simple YouTube search and found it. Most of the time when you're studying in school, no matter what degree program you pick, you go on the internet, you go on YouTube, you go into your study groups, you go into these, it depends on what you're in, right? You go into these forums and you find the answer for what you're looking for or what you're studying and what it is that you're trying to solve for and whatever homework that you're given or what you're studying in the first place. You're using these platforms to inform you anyway. You knew that. It's crazy, bro.
The only difference, really, was that it was structured, right? It was just packaged up. The information was already out here. The videos were free. All the information and the stuff that we want to do.
You want me to do it a little faster?
They just packaged it up and made it look kind of pretty, you know, made it like something that you can follow. And, you know, I started my business while I was in school because I kind of already knew that this time was going to come, right? So I tried my hardest not to delay the process of starting my own thing, just, you know, trying to figure out how I'm going to pay that bill for my own creative endeavors early. And I probably, you know, took my attention off school as much, right? Because I just want the degree realistically. Because people, you know, say it's a good backup plan, whatever the case may be. So why not? But the closer I got to the back end of school these last couple months, I was like, this isn't something I really want to do as a job, right? The skill set is amazing. I would love to implement that, you know, into my own creative endeavors when it's needed. But I can't see myself doing that every single day, 9 to 5, regardless of how much money it pays me, right? It just wasn't aligning. I have more of a free spirit, right? And going down that path was causing me to, it felt like I was going to have to settle in some type of facet. And it really just wasn't sitting with me. But as for this $100,000 that's about to get put, on my name, which is realistically it's already on my name, it isn't so much like anxiety, right? Because like I said, I knew that this was coming. So it's not this thing where it's, just beating me down to the floor and I can't think.
Yeah, you need to get a little sense of urgency in your life, big dog, and you wouldn't be in this position in the first place. Honest to God, we need to be a little bit more serious about our life. $100,000 is not something to play with. And you're going to be paying interest on that. As soon as you graduate, you start to accumulate interest on that. I'm not even sure if you start getting interest on it before you graduate, but as soon as you graduate, I think you start to get interest on it, but as soon as you graduate, you got to start paying on that. And the interest starts to accumulate. So when you paying it, that's why they say that you got to pay it for the next 10 years. What's the average interest rate? Let me look that up.
But it is opening my eyes to time, right? If I would have aligned myself sooner with things that I actually wanted to do.
So as of today, for federal undergraduate student loans, both subsidized and unsubsidized, 6.53. For graduate and professional students is 8%. On direct unsubsidized loans is 9%. For direct plus loans taken out by parents and graduate students. So let's assume 7% just to be safe, all right?
I probably would have saw results, right? In the areas that I truly wanted to. I think school kind of put a crutch behind me, right? Because at the times where I wasn't going as hard, I wasn't as focused, I wasn't, doing what I needed to do, the excuse was always, well, I'm in school, I'm a student, I'm learning, whatever the case may be. What most typical college students do, really. They use it as like almost an excuse to not move forward.
Okay, so I just put this in a payment calculator. 10 years, because the average student loan, they want you to pay it for 10 years. At $100,000, 10-year rate, 7% interest. That means that you're going to have to make 120 payments. That's a third of what the average mortgage, fixed rate mortgage at 30 years is going to be. You're going to pay $139,330.18. Your monthly payment for 120 payments for the next 10 years, assuming that you don't miss any payments whatsoever, you don't have any hardships, you don't have any deferments, any of that, is $1,161.08 every month for 10 years to pay off the total debt of a total of 120 payments, $139,330.18, assuming that you have around a 7% interest rate. That's insane. That's insane. That is unreasonable to me. It is 100% unreasonable to me. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
And that was kind of, what I was doing. I was, applying myself, but it wasn't to the fullest capacity and in the right places, right? So now that I'm about to graduate and my time is coming back, I'm having to make decisions about what do I actually want to pursue, what do I actually want to do, etc. It's not pulling me so much towards what I went to school for. And it's crazy because a lot of people say people don't usually get jobs in the thing that they went to school for, right? This isn't something that's foreign. Granted, it's still in the same, area, right? Because it's tied to film and stuff like that. So I could turn around and sell, these attributes. I can have more of like a bit like a CEO type of headspace and just like, have other people do it for me since I know kind of how to oversee it. But actually doing it, nah, right? So I mean, if you're somebody who's gonna go to school, the first thing I have to say is make sure you're going to school because you want to go to school, not because of anybody else, right? If you truly don't want to go to school, then do what you have to so you can make that decision and align yourself with what you truly want out of life. Now, it's a learning curve, right? But over time, I'm seeing things that I started off doing, I really never stopped, right? Over time and in life, I kind of just started adding on more unnecessary stuff. But the core root, I've been doing the same thing since the very beginning.
All right, that's cool. Again, you can go and check him out. His name is Sincere. Go and check out his platform if you want to. As of the recording of this video, he got 908 subscribers. Let me just go ahead and give you all the real solutions to this, because I don't want to just react to it and say, oh man, this is crazy, without actually providing some insight and some understanding. If y'all deciding to go into school, number one thing is, the most important thing is not going because somebody told you to or whatever like that. That's not the biggest lesson to take from this, because somebody could be giving you the great advice. The first thing is, according to this video, don't flunk out on purpose and waste money. Don't flunk out on purpose and waste money. The second thing is, don't flunk out on purpose and waste money. Don't flunk out on purpose because you feeling some type of way about it. All right. The third thing is, minimize the amount of money that you want to spend on whatever the degree is by considering other options. You do not have to take out a student loan. You can do your core requirements at a community college, and that's when you want to go and talk to your advisor to find out which credits are transferable, and you don't have to flunk out at such an expensive price. The second thing is, the fourth thing is to pick a degree program that will actually pay you a really good salary when you graduate. Don't go to underwater basket weaving degrees. Don't get African American studies. Don't go to film school. Nobody cares, okay? You have to make sure that you pick something that is going to actually be valued in the marketplace. All right? The next thing that I'm going to say is, it is possible for you to work and go to school at the same time. And chances are, if you get a job at a place that will give you tuition assistance, that will minimize the amount of money that you have to spend on your degree. There's so many lessons to be learned from this, but I don't see any accountability from him. That is the biggest problem that I see with this video. Everything he's saying because don't do it because somebody else told you to. No, the first thing that I would know that somebody is serious about the debt that they facing is that they saying, man, this is a big deal. I need to get another job. I need to pay this off immediately. I'm going to get this second job and throw everything that I can at this thing. And I need to have a sense of urgency and take care of business. Number two, these are the lessons that I learned. Listen, it's not about what other people say. I have to be intentional. I made a mistake. I'm not really sure that this makes sense, but I'm going to make some different changes, because this wasn't a situation where I'm going to fall on my laurels. I just got to get on my grind, and I got to really get to it. You know what I'm saying? It's your attitude. It's your mentality. And too often, we blame everything on everybody around us, including our parents, including the system, including the federal government, and so on and so forth. But the reality is that we don't have a sense of urgency when it comes to taking care of business. We have to have a sense of urgency when it comes to taking care of business. All right? Own it, make adjustments, and get that bag and pay off that debt, because you do not want to be paying $140,000 over the next 10 years. Go and check out his channel if y'all want to rock out with him again. If and when I clip this up, then we'll put the link in the description back to his profile. Let me read a few more super chats, and then I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go for the day. First, I want to make sure that I acknowledge anybody on Cash App. I want to give a shout out to Baba T. Says, Happy New Year and keep it going. Keep doing it, soldier. Thank you, Baba T. I appreciate you. Spencer Campbell, my guy in the building. Shout out to Spencer Campbell. Thank you for holding me down. You always been holding me down. And I also want to give an acknowledgement to Dylan KO. Says, Happy New Year, AD. Thank you to everybody that contributes on Cash App. Let me read these super chats. Greg Charlie says, what up, though, Anton? Happy New Year. Appreciate all of the wisdom and info from you last year. Much looking forward to 2025. Thank you, Greg. Greg, you a G. You a G for that. Keyshawn White says, did you see the backlash HBCU, you mean? is getting from attending the inauguration. Guess what? They did the same thing the first time that Trump was inaugurated. But we going to react to that. We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that on the Anton Daniels channel. Could have joined the Bag Chasers for business real estate and get the yearly memberships. Talk about it, Tech Coach Ralph. For hardly nothing. Good afternoon, says Young Haiti. AD, keep up the good work you're doing in the community, and you motivate me to keep running it up. Lamar Gilmore says, I have been in debt, settlement, consumer sales, and made 8 to 10K monthly, recently laid off, and was told I am in a 2-year non-compete. Any way around that, or is there a different sales field that I can parlay my skills in? Well, you got to go and read the non-compete agreement. What does the non-compete agreement say? You got to get the non-compete. You can't go by what they tell you. You need to go and get the actual paperwork that you signed when you decided to go and sign up for that company and read the documents, and then you got to make the adjustment accordingly. All right? ABJ's Wise and Strong says, Happy New Year, family. It's a blessing to make it to another year. All you have is all you need. Don't overthink it this month. Think to make progress happen. God bless you all, and let's get it. Mr. Joe says he signed up for financial purgatory. That's a fact. And you can't discharge that from bankruptcy either. What in the World TV says, single moms, this could be your sassy son. Go back to your baby daddy. Beast University says, so stupid. Going to school for $0 as possible. Shout out to the military. The military. Great life hack. $4,500 annually in your GI Bills. You can get an associate's and a master's for $0. Spaces says, by following your blueprint, I grew 120 subs in about 4 months. I'm aiming for 10 times that this year. Even major platforms are copying. They are. And they've been watching for a long time. They've been stealing, copying, but you can't out-innovate an innovator. We changing it up in a little bit. I'm at the next meetup. Shout out to Spaces. I appreciate you. TB says, Anton, I go to an online school for BOS and cloud computing. And I get paid to go because I did time in the military making calculated moves, my people. Shout out to TB. I appreciate you. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest audience on earth. This is season 5, episode 1, and we're going to run it up all the way up until episode 275 because we don't miss. I love you. I appreciate you. The best day to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. Also, Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Let's rock out, y'all. Let's get to this bag and let's not make no excuses. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.